This person is totally caught up in their feelings about you right now with this initiation by water. This is somebody that has totally surrendered to you and this connection. They would follow you forth in any direction that you would lead them emotionally. It feels right to sit in that heart space and to allow themselves to be carried into a new experience of what love and romance can be. However, you have showcased your favorite love language to this person, it has hit all the right buttons within them. This is something that they almost have never felt loved and adored, respected, and cherished before in the ways in which you have been able to do that so simply, so honestly, and in such a way that it has just melted their defense mechanisms. This person, they're almost like putty in your hands, but there's a sense of like that doesn't feel to be a vulnerable position. This is something that this person would do like absolutely anything for you, but you also make them feel like the strongest version of themselves. So there's a bit of a paradox going on, which is helping them to understand that like love can be both something which encourages one's vulnerability and softness, and also is an opportunity for strength and personal power to be something which is brought to the forefront in a healthy and high vibrational way. And you've done all this without even trying. You've done all of this just by being yourself, just by being very honest with this person, even in times where you've kind of like, you've set up some sort of boundary, or you've expressed things that are different from kind of what this person was hoping to hear or hoping to experience. All of that has been something that has helped to kind of reposition them inside of themselves, where there's not conflict between the two of you. They see that there's like opportunities for compromise. So this is somebody that is actively like shifting their perspective in terms of what they expected or thought would happen out of this connection versus like the reality of how things are turning out. This is something where this person has like developed deep feelings for you in a way that has surprised even them. But unlike the kind of thing that sort of, would evoke fear and cause somebody to run off, somebody that was operating with a lot more woundedness, or, maybe wasn't supposed to align as like a long-term partner, would have just been construed as like a karmic connection. This is something where it's like those surprises give this person like a moment to pause, but then they are flowing towards you more deeply than ever. This is somebody that feels like that really wants to do the most to follow their heart towards you. This is somebody that's very eager, very enthusiastic to kind of experience more of the ways in which you show affection. They sense that you are somebody who may also be holding back because in the past you could have like overgiven or ended up chasing people who were unable to reciprocate, or it might have just kind of like fed their ego. It might have been circumstances of limerence even at earlier phases in your journey, to where this version of you that this person is encountering, there's a sense of almost like you are so giving, you are so nurturing, you are so loving, but I also sense that you're holding back somewhat, not as a way to tease me, but obviously because you had dealt with people in the past that had made you feel that it was unsafe to just give full force. It might have overwhelmed people. It could have caused, again, like wounds within others to cause them to retreat. Like something about your journey leading to this point in time has created a version of you which is very empowered. It's very self-loving. Like this person respects that a lot. But they also sense that there's kind of like, there's more to you than meets the eye, or there's so much more capacity to exchange emotions than you have demonstrated up to this point in time. And so this is somebody that's almost like they want to give more to you on an emotional level, so that you'll understand that like you're not doing too much, you're not extra, you're not like coming on too strong. And so they want to like match what you are sort of putting forth at this point in time, but they also want to get to the point with you where it's like you can both just be comfortable to be freely yourselves, where there's like a safe and open exchange between the two of you, where it's like, I want to show you my heart, and I know that it's in safekeeping with you, and I also want you to trust me enough that, you know, you show me all of that exquisite loving energy that you hold inside, and know that I'm not going to be somebody that, you know, runs away from that or kind of just uses it for my own purposes. We also have orbs of light. So every time this person is like physically near you, they feel your auras touching. They feel the sense of anticipation, even kind of like leading up to when they know they're going to see you, or when there's maybe like random kind of like serendipitous occurrences when you see one another, you run into one another, you interact. It's almost like they've been able to feel that. They've been able to sense that, energetically speaking. The more you spend time with one another, the more you get to know one another, the closer you become. It's not just kind of like, okay, my brain adjusts to the reality of you as someone who's a part of my life, or, you know, my heart kind of like gives me permission to invite you in, or to receive you into myself. There's also a sense that like energetically, you know, their aura is very drawn to you. It's very magnetized to you. And this may be somebody who has never quite perceived their aura before. They might have known what an aura is, but it kind of was just like a term, just like a buzzword. Now they know what that is. Now they can feel that. And so there's something where it's almost like they see that your connection with one another, it's deep, it goes beyond the ordinary, or it's unlocked a whole new kind of ability to perceive for this person. This is like third eye activation energy. This is something which has awakened, or almost creates balance, maybe for like a recessive aspect of them that could be considered like an empath, for example. This might have been somebody who's just gone through their life and they were just like absorbing other people's energy. They had no idea about that, taking on other people's emotions, taking on other people's like emotional baggage, and that sort of taking a toll on them. They could have really almost like put up an energetic guard without even knowing it, because of this capacity to feel and to perceive on that energetic level. But since they've connected with you, there's almost the sense of like kindred spirit energy, where something inside of them is like, yeah, this is a resonant frequency. And so in addition to kind of like their loving thoughts about you, and, you know, the emotions that they have towards you, and like the sexual attraction, the physical attraction, there's also something where like energetically the two of you align in such a way that it's helping this person to perceive more of like who they are, not just as a person, but like a being, like a spiritual being having a human experience, where they're observing that at this particular point in time, and they're noticing kind of like the effect or the difference between like other people in their lives that they encounter versus how strong and how powerful and how palpable that experience is when they are near you. We also have past life activations. This could definitely be like a past life soulmate. This person feels that it is no accident that you have crossed paths with one another. This is somebody who is so grateful that out of all the billions of people on this planet, the divine saw fit to connect the two of you with one another. This is something where you feel like home to them in a way that is far more than just like, I feel so comfortable with you, or, you know, you get me, and, you know, our light and our shadow blend so well with one another. This is somebody that it almost feels like, I know that I know you from somewhere. It feels like this was an inevitable time in my life. You are an inevitable person. This is something where this person might have almost felt kind of like when they first met you, or even like early on in the connection, that it was like you were just picking up from where you left off from. This may have even been something where they kind of, you know, for some of you when they first met you, it's like, do I know you from somewhere? You look so familiar. And they could have been so insistent about that. And if that has happened, that moment has stuck with this person And they are now sifting beyond the layers of just kind of like, oh, you look like someone or your personality is like someone, whatever. This is something that they are looking at as kind of like, this must be some sort of fated experience. This must be destiny. And so they are not fighting that. They are wanting to, kind of like continue to move closer, continue to, kind of like resume whatever the unfinished business was between the two of you from like a past life, or kind of like pick up on this opportunity here to love one another again, because it feels so good to be with you. It feels so right. It doesn't feel like something where it's like, I think I'm going to regret this later, or I have a feeling you might be like a lesson for me, or something where they may have even, this person might have encountered like past life people before, and when they met these people, like in hindsight, it's like, I had a bad feeling about that person right from the start, and I didn't listen to that, and look where it got me. This is like the totally opposite with you. It's like, I had a really good feeling about you right from the start, and I am so glad that I listened to my intuition and took that step forward. I am so glad that we have connected with one another, because it offsets that kind of undercurrent inside of themselves of, again, maybe like other karmic people they've had to deal with, closing out long-term soul contracts. This feels like a soul contract, like a past life soul contract between the two of you, that it's like, yeah, sign me up. I want to renew this. I want to have this experience with you in the here and now. I'm excited about the lifetimes to come, but let's live now in this moment, because we are here at this opportunity. So this is not somebody that wants to, run from you. This is somebody that wants to move closer to you. We also have karmic clearing. Yeah, so you are helping this person to really like insert themselves in the here and now. If this is somebody that had like struggled letting go of the past, or, maybe they kind of like closed out of a painful chapter experience, maybe they've been single for a while and they've had to do some healing, they've had to shed some things, they've had to kind of like close off from past energies, or evolve beyond the version of themselves that went through certain experiences, or allowed certain things into their life, allowed certain things to happen to them. You represent that restart. You represent that fresh beginning. You represent an experience that is really allowing this person to see, like, yeah, I have successfully reinvented. I have had that rebirth. I have moved beyond yesterday. And this is something that feels like that they are looking at this connection with you, armed with the wisdom from the past, aspects about themselves that they know weren't the best, that showed up in connections and was kind of like their part, because it takes two to tango usually, in terms of relationships going sour, or kind of toxicity within a connection. Like, they've owned their part of things, and this is something where they know what not to do, they know what to avoid, they know definitely what they don't want to experience in terms of like other people that they invite into their life, or that they allow into their life, or that they keep in their life. You have shown up as somebody that is very much like a wild card. You're the unknown. You are the type of person they've never had an encounter with before. Like, they've never met anybody like you. It feels different. The experience is different. How they're responding to the situation inside is entirely different. It's like they're excited, but there's also a centeredness to them. Like a sense of being very assured, not just kind of like, we'll see what happens, but every step forward that they take towards you, and that you take forwards towards them, and that you're moving forward together as one, there's a sense of like, yeah, we keep aligning with more of a sense of like, this is right. This is happening at the pace that it needs to, in the time that is right for the two of us. I feel the burdens of my past being unshouldered little by little, the more that I spend time with you, the more that I open my heart to you, the more that I open my mind to this experience, the more that I even explore that idea of like, wow, yeah, we all have an aura, and I'm connecting with you, not just emotionally and intellectually and physically, but our energies, our auras are kissing. Even if we're just standing there and, talking about the weather and having like a friendly chat, there's something going on between the two of us. And I'm not scared about that. I'm actually really intrigued about that. This is somebody that it feels like is taking a very fresh perspective in terms of like the expectation of what will unfold between the two of you. A lot of this feels like a mystery to them, but also like the greatest adventure of their life. And so the more that they are kind of creating a sense of presence with you, having actual experiences, you're kind of building an understanding with one another, or building your relationship with one another. It's really helping this person not just to like shut the door to the past, but to recognize like that door has been shut. That's behind me. That is long gone. I am here in this moment in time. Whatever mistakes I made in the past, or the mistakes of the past, this is my blessing in the here and now. And that blessing is you. We also have first ray of power. Yeah, so this person definitely wants to invest more in conversations, in getting to know one another, spending time with one another, creating closeness with one another. If there's challenges and obstacles, they're up for the challenge of overcoming those challenges and obstacles with you. This is somebody that doesn't need time to think. They don't need time to kind of sit in that realm of fear. The head and the heart are in unison as far as like, yeah, move forward towards this. It's like everything has aligned within this person that is encouraging them to continue to be bold, to continue to be direct, to continue to be consistent, to continue to kind of share that power with you as well. This is somebody that wants you to kind of speak up about anything they can do better, anything that you've been kind of like afraid to sort of tell them about or express in terms of like needs, wants, desires, goals, fantasies. It's like, just tell me. If it's something I've never heard before, I'll hold space and I'll open my mind and kind of figure it out. Maybe it's something that is kind of like a secret desire of mine as well, and so we'll connect in that territory. This is somebody that puts no limitations at all on what can develop between the two of you, because it feels like this is kind of that moment in time that they've been waiting for. You are both that fresh start, that reset for them, and you are somebody who feels very inevitable. This is somebody who has made so much peace with their past, based on the fact that it's like, I don't want to spend another minute crying over spilled milk, sitting in the energy of woulda, coulda, shoulda from yesterday. This is something that the experiences with you in the here and now, it is helping this person to live the reality of self-forgiveness as well. Because they may have really been trying to like forgive themselves, or to release and let go of things, and that's worked up to a certain extent, but it has required the introduction of the creation of new memories with a different person, you the viewer, and kind of like working towards a better reality, romantically speaking, to really loosen the grip, that kind of like final aspect, that missing ingredient, that missing link in what is kind of a recipe now for building something very beautiful that has nothing to do with what they've experienced in the past, that allows them to kind of release that version of themselves that they were trying to forgive for, knowing now what they didn't know then, and how the choices might have been different or might not have been. Like, all of that is something that they are putting behind them, because they're very interested in what's happening with you in the here and now, and also as far as what is going to happen with you moving forward. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Like or comment to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.